Click on the subscribe button, especially the bell on the right side. Otherwise, you will miss the latest videos.
Born here. Okay, the purpose of life, because there are many karmas in the life, and the major karma for which you have born, and after fulfilling that, after completing that, you are going to end your life. Okay, so these are the layers of the karma, but pending karma is the today I'm talking about the major pending karma. Okay, and its relation with the Hora Lord. Why Hora Lord? Because every class X, okay, whether it is Jatak Bharanam or Jatak Brihad Jatak, okay, these two classics have given a lot of importance to the Panchang parameters, like the year lord, like the day lord and nakshatra lord, of course, and Hora Lord also. So Hora Lord becomes a very important planet in your horoscope, because Lagan, the basic D1 chart, changes every 2 hours approximately. But the Hora is about 1 hour approximately. The Hora Lord will change. And this Hora Lord therefore becomes twice more important than the Lagan Lord. Or you can say that it is equally important with the Lagan Lord. Okay, whatever you can give. But I personally prefer that Hora Lord is twice more important than the Lagan Lord, because it is more shuttle in the time. Okay, it is more less time in the duration, because only 1 hour it will change. So it is more important. Now, Hora Lord can only become 7 planets can become Hora Lord. Rahu and Ketu cannot. Okay. Uh, and basically, we all know that one Hora is equals to 1 hour, and it can be up to 58, 56 minutes, up to 1 hour or 10 minutes, whatever the duration of the day and the night is. Okay. And the duration of day and the night is calculated on the basis of the sunrise and the sunset, because as soon as sun rises, the day starts, and as soon as sun sets, the night starts. So the duration between the sunrise and the sunset is the duration of the day. Okay, means sunrise to sunset is the duration of the day, and sunset to sunrise to the next day is the duration of your night. Okay, so to calculate Hora Lord, we have to know some basic stuff of the astronomy. First of all, why I am enforcing on calculation of Hora Lord? Because according to my knowledge and my information, I have not seen any single software giving correct Hora Lord calculation. Okay, because I have used Jagannath Hora, Parashara Light, and many other softwares on the other, like Kal. They do not give correct Hora Lord calculation. Okay, sometimes it differs, and sometimes it is correct. So it is safe and best to calculate manually. It is very easy to calculate. Now see, I have told the sunrise and sunset is the reference point of the calculation. Now the sunrise to the sunset is the day. To calculate the duration of the day, you have to deduct, and you have to find out the time between the sunrise and the sunset by 12, because there can be 12 hora in a day and in a night. Okay, so you have to divide it by the 12 to get the duration of one hora. For example, suppose hora of the day is 12, means complete duration of the day is 12, so the duration of one hora will be 1 hour. Okay, it can be less than 12 or more than 12. Okay, round about that figure. So that will be the duration of one hora. Now, how to determine the duration in which you are born, in which hora you are born? So what you have to do, that deduct the difference between the birth time and the sunrise. If you are born in a day, means if you are born before the sunset, then you have to deduct the duration by your time of birth to the sunrise. And for the night birth, you have to deduct the duration of the birth from the birth time to the sunset. Okay, so sunset and sunrise are again very, very important to calculate it. So please make sure what the sunrise and sunset you are noting and you are taking for the birthplace. Okay, it will be different for different places. Now, once you have got the duration of the birth time and the sunrise, the difference between that, okay, now divide this time by the one hora duration. Okay, when you will divide, you will get the duration of the hora. You can find it on internet that how to calculate hora lord, because that is the mathematical subject, and I am not going into the deep to how to calculate. I will not show you, but I have given you the scheme of calculation. Okay, so in this way you can calculate. Now, for your information, please note this is the most important thing to for the calculation. The first hora of the day birth, or you can say the first hora of the day, is always the week lord. Means, suppose today is now today is Saturday, so the first hora of Saturday will be Saturn, and the second hora of the Saturday will be sixth from the Saturn. Now, the sixth from the Saturn, if we calculate, it is Thursday. Okay, it is Thursday because Saturn, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So the sixth day is a Thursday. So the second hora of the Saturday will be Jupiter, and it will go on because Jupiter is now sixth from the Jupiter will be Tuesday. Okay, so the lord of the Tuesday is Mars. In this way, you can calculate hora. Now for night, the first hora will be the fifth day from the weekday. So for the duration of the hora lord of the after the sunset on the Saturday, okay, for which we are taking for as example. So the fifth day from the Saturday will be Wednesday. So the first hora of the night of the Saturday, okay, it will be Wednesday. It will be Mercury because lord of the Wednesday is Mercury. Okay, so in this way you will calculate the hora, and the second hora of the and the second and third and the fourth hora for the night will be sixth from the obtained first hora. Okay, means you have to calculate fifth day from the Wednesday. So it will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so in this way you will get the Sunday and Monday. Okay, so the sixth hora of the Saturday, the second hora of the Saturday will be the sixth day. So it will be Monday. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the hora lord. And it is very easy to calculate. I will recommend you to please reread it for the calculation of the hora lord and refer to some books. Okay, so you can get the calculation of the hora lord. Now the predictive part of the hora lord and the pending karma. Why this is the very important thing in your chart? The planet of the hora lord is very important. Now this is the first example of Shri K.N. Rao, the great astrologer of the modern era, with B.V. Raman. They both are the legends in the field. So in this chart, you see that Hora Lord is Saturn. Okay, and this Saturn is placed in Sagittarius sign in Purvashadha nakshatra of Venus, who is the eighth lord. What is eighth house? Eighth house is occult knowledge. Okay, so to the Saturn is sannyasi. Okay, the monk, the sage. So he lived his life like he never married. Okay, and he lives like sadhu because Saturn is placed in the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter, the sadhu. This Saturn can be tamasic as well if it is in negative signs of Mars and other. But this Saturn is good here because it is Yoga Karaka first of all for the Libra Lagna. It's the fifth lord, is the fourth lord, and placed in the third house. Okay, so this Saturn is little benefic here and more than benefic. So Saturn in Sagittarius, in the sign of Dharam, the sign of religious activities, in Purvashada Nakshatra of the 8th Lord, is clearly showing his writings, astrological books about occult knowledge, because Venus is the 8th Lord. Now, because this is the Saturn in the third house, you will find that every book of his having a blue cover page. Okay, so this is so majorly important in the life. See the karmic pattern of his life. Now this Saturn is also the fourth lord of mother. Okay, and from fourth house, the Saturn is in the 12th house. 12th house is the house of spirituality and many other spiritual activities. And this is Saturn. Who taught him? Initially he learned astrology from his mother. Okay, see the role of Saturn as fourth lord here, that Saturn is so important being fourth lord. So because my mother was also very spiritual, okay, and she taught him astrology. See the magic of Hora Lord, that how clearly it can be seen with the help of Saturn only, that what are the major karmic patterns he is going to have. Now, again, the third house, we all know that it is preaching and writing. So he did all these things with respect to the Sagittarius sign in Saturn. He worked for the masses. You will find in every his book that he is awareing people about astrology and the fraud things in the astrology. Okay, the scientific approach, because Saturn is a technical planet, not very dogmatic. Okay, and there will be the touch of history. He wrote a very beautiful book, Nehru Dynasty. Okay, with a whole political background, and just because this Saturn in the third house. So this is very important karmic thing in you can see with the help of just Saturn. Okay, all his life was about the third house. He has many transfers in his job. Okay, so this is the first thing you should see from the Hora Lord. Now the placement, the lordship of the Saturn, all this will matter. You see that this Saturn is placed in the third house in the Sagittarius sign. One of the classics says that Saturn in the Sagittarius sign is very bad for the legs. Okay, it can be any disease in the legs. Now you see that this Saturn is placed in the sixth house from the 10th house of the knees, which is the knees. 10th house is your knees, and it is placed in the sixth house. So he had a very severe problem in the knees in the Mercury Saturn Dasha. The importance of Saturn is very clearly here we can see. Now we also focus on the Dasha pattern, because the Dasha of the Hora Lord is most important. Even the sub period Antar Dasha, Pratyantar Dasha will play its role, and the result given by the Hora Lord will be permanent in the chart. Okay, whatever result the Hora Lord is giving, because it has to manifest the major karmic pattern of your life, which will be highlighted throughout after your death. Okay, and life. Now you see, the thing of the knee is much more clearer in the D60 chart of the Ken Rao, because we all know that the birth time of Ken Rao is very correct, and D60 is also correct. So I can use D60 and Hora Lord in it. Now in D60 we can see that Saturn is the 10th lord and Mercury is placed here. Mercury is the 6th lord of disease and 3rd lord of writing. Now this Mercury is the dispositor of no planet, but is disposed by the Saturn, Hora Lord. This Saturn is in the 9th house. It is very clear indicator of the legs, because 9th and 10th and 11th, all these are legs. Okay, and 10th is important because of knees. So Saturn is much more clearer here in the 9th house to give the problem in the legs in the old age. Now, a very major story is here that his guru, Yogi Bhaskaranand Ji, has predicted in 1963 that you will have a leg problem in your old age. Okay. Now you see the prediction is also coming from the ninth house, because the dispositor of the Saturn is going into the fifth house of sadhana and the analysis and aspecting the ninth house. Okay, and Saturn is in the ninth house of Guru as well. So the prediction was also made in advance. When the circumstances are like that, then you will get the predictions as well related to that problem. Okay, this Saturn is Vargottam as well. Okay, so whenever Hora Lord becomes very strong, because Sheshadri Iyer says that you cannot take Vargottam only in the Navansh. You have to take it in every Varga chart. And D60 is the chart which is more important than Navansh and D1 even. Okay, so Saturn in D1 and in D60 is a Vargottam state, and that enhances the strength of Saturn. That's why the Mercury Saturn has given him a lot of issue in the legs. Okay, that I will discuss later. Now you see, just because the Vargottam state of Saturn, he became so popular because of the Hora Lord as well. I will show later as well that how Hora Lord is important. Now you only because of this retrograde Saturn and Yog Karak, Vargottam Saturn and Yog Karak Saturn. Okay, and getting much more strength because aspected by Jupiter. Now you see that this Saturn is as aspected by 12th Lord, is a dispositor of 6th Lord. It has to give the problem in the legs. What he did before coming to leg, he wrote his all books in the Mercury Dasha. Okay, and in Mercury Saturn he suffered. Before that, he was in Saturn Dasha. In Saturn Dasha, he writes in his book that Saturn Dasha, he was learning astrology at its peak. He was a very good learner of astrology in the Saturn Dasha, mostly because in the Saturn Dasha, he was in service, and he was also engaged with his gurus and all that in ashram, and moving here and there for the spiritual purposes and the astrological purposes. So Saturn has a major role, but he didn't wrote any book in Saturn Dasha because he was in service. Okay, now you see that leg problem of the Saturn, because Saturn in ninth house clearly shows the higher learning. Now Saturn and the leg problem. Every doctor in the world has said that you will not recover. You will not be able to walk. See the state of Saturn and Mercury being dispositor here. But this Saturn is aspected from the fifth house by Jupiter, and this Jupiter is Yoga Karaka for Aries Lagna. This Jupiter is also a little troublemaker, being 12th Lord, going to hospitals, and this Jupiter is aspecting the Saturn, strengthening it. So he tells now he's walking, he walks, and but no, every doctor has said that he will not be able to walk. How he is able to walk? He says that he was doing his mantra sadhana, the mantras given by his guru, and other mantras, Vishnu Sahasranam and all that. Okay, he was doing laying on the bed because he was not able to walk. How we can see this miracle happening? Because this Jupiter is aspecting the Saturn from the ninth house, from the fifth house of mantra sadhana. Okay, and this Jupiter is not in a normal state. This Jupiter is in Leo, and Varam here says that Jupiter in Leo and Aquarius is equals to the Jupiter in Cancer. So it is very important aspect of the life of Shri Ken Rao. We can also see that his thoughts, the pattern of his life was like Saturn. Okay, he lived alone. He has nothing to nothing in his for himself. He worked for the masses. Has written a lot of books and did a lot of work for astrology. Now, coming, I do not remember, but I think that the court and the Supreme Court case which he has won for astrology is also in Mercury Saturn, because somewhere I have read that he was on wheelchair while he was going to the court for the astrological purposes to defend astrology. Okay, so that has also happened in Mercury Saturn. Now you see that why D60 is important. This Mercury Saturn relation is so clear here. Okay, and it shows because Mercury is naturally the sixth lord of pending karma, and Saturn becomes Hora Lord of pending karma. Okay, so they both become very important. So that's why the all the major events happened. The purpose of his life, I would say, happened in this because his guru has predicted the leg problem and the purpose of astrology in this time period. The importance of Hora Lord is very clear. Now the second chart of Shri Indira Gandhi, and she has her Hora Lord as Mars. We all know the Martian qualities she has, naturally very aggressive, and she also called the Iron Lady of the India. Okay, now see the Mars in Leo sign. This Mars in the second house is not a normal position because this Mars is again Vargottam in Navansh. Okay, and it is again very powerful. So the role in the life and the events in the life is not going to be normal because the Hora Lord is Vargottam. Okay, so at least something will happen in life which will be highlighted, very much highlighted. Okay, but the horoscope is also strong. That's why it is much more highlighted. Now you see that Mars in second house is well known for the Kul Deepak Yoga, means the light bearer of the family. Okay, the person supports his family and is only the light bearer in the family. Okay, who takes the family up. Mars in the second house is a natural phenomenon, and it also makes you elder in the life, elder in the family. Okay, this Mars is in Leo. It is 10th lord. His profession and his royalty and government comes from the father because Mars is the second 10th lord. Okay, and Leo is a sign ruled by sun. Second house is your immediate family. Okay, so whatever positions he has is because of her father. Okay, because her father was prime minister and she has some support of that father, because if Nehru was not prime minister, then she would never have become the prime minister of India. Okay, because she has that support in the Mars in the second house. Now you see that this Martian quality, we all know about her, what happened to her, and how she died, how her children died. I will just explain those events because of the Hora Lord and the major highlights of her life. uh, I would say that the Blue Star operation, which she has been, because of which she died, because of which she killed by the six, was in Saturn Mars. Okay, and this Saturn Mars is 212 to each other. And I'm not discussing Dasha, but I am showing you the importance of the Hora Lord. This Mars is the nakshatra of Purva Falguni, Venus nakshatra. This Venus is fourth lord. In this sixth house, in the sign of Sagittarius, is with Rahu. Rahu is outcast. Venus is in the sign of Sagittarius. What she did, she attacked the Gurudwara, Amritsar Golden Temple, and that was the reason of her death. Mars in that nakshatra, and it happened in Saturn Mars. And soon after that, in Saturn Rahu, after 3 months, she shot dead. Okay, so you see the importance of Mars here. Now, the Mars is fifth lord as well, and the dispositor of Mars is in the fifth house as well. This Sun is the second lord, and it is Ketu is here as well. Dispositor of Ketu, Mercury is also. So Ketu and Mercury both makes some kind of conspiracy. Okay, conspiracial nature comes. Okay, now because they are in Scorpio, a natural conspiracy sign. Okay, it was very clear that conspiracy is done for her, for her children, is very clear with, because this Mars is aspecting here with the fourth aspect to its own house. So all these things is very much clear in the chart. Now we have to see the Hora Lord from the other houses, that for which house it is bad. Now you see this Hora Lord is in the 8th house from the 7th house. What is 7th house? Is your marriage, is your partnerships. It is in the 8th house from it. So she has not a very good married life. It is also in 8th from the moon. She met with a accidental or a violent death. Okay, this is the nature of the Mars. Because of government authorities and government thing, Mars in Leo. Okay, so we can see Hora Lord and the important of and the events related to it from the sign as well. It will alone tell you the story of the life. Now, coming to her Navansh. Now, in Navansh, you will see that this Mars is in the 6th house, is again the indicator of the uh, bad married life, because Navansh is the chart of your marriage. Okay, and in a bad house, being ninth and second lord is clearly indication of a bad married life. But the thing is that Mars is ninth lord as well, and Mars is in the sign of Leo. It is with the 6th lord. This Mars is again aspected by the 5th lord of love and romance, and this Mars is also aspecting the Lagan. Okay, so her fight because of the romance, because of her love with the Firoz Gandhi, and the fight is with father because Sun and Mars in the 6th house and Mars is the ninth lord, is again a major scheme, a major highlight of her marriage. Okay, so you see that Hora Lord is so important in Vargas also. It will tell the story. Just pick the Hora Lord and you will get the story of that Varga chart. Okay, now because this Mars is in the 12th house from the 7th house and is 8th Lord, is third Lord. Gemini says and many classics say that third Lord is a major planet which will tell the death mode of the death. Okay, I'm telling a very deep secret here because third, 8th lord, we all know the death, and many of you may be knowing because there are many legends here. The third lord for the death. So third lord in the 12th house is with Sun. It is third for the seventh partner, spouse, and eighth for it as well. It is in the 12th house. Her spouse died in hospital, suffering with heart attack. Sun is there in the sign of Leo. Okay, and is the 8th lord, is the mode of the death of her spouse. So you can see that there are so many major events. I am telling you the death, I am telling you the gain of power, the pattern of life with the Hora Lord, not the minor events of the life. Okay, so this is the importance of the Hora Lord. And because uh, this is the last chart which we will be doing today. Okay, and this is the chart of Albert Einstein, a well-known researcher, scientist, and physicist. Now you see, uh, Einstein is having Hora Lord Mars. Okay, and this Mars is well known for energy. What he is known for, Einstein, energy equation. Okay, and because of his equation, the atomic bomb was created. Hitler was running after him to get him and make that atomic bomb for the Germany, but but he ran away to US, and US has benefited with the research and with the paper. Okay, now you see that Mars is in the Capricorn in the 8th house of the research. It is with the Rahu, and this is Mars of the 6th house of fight. He has done a tremendous research, tremendous paper on energy equation, E equals to mc square. But what was the first use of that? Fight, to destroy someone, atomic bomb. It is the role of the Mars as 6th lord in the 8th house, is with Rahu, research, innovation. Okay, now you see that Mars is in the Capricorn sign, is the sign of Karam. What the Karam you will do? We all know that Gemini ascendant are well known for their researches and going into the deep of the subject. Okay, because the karmic sign in the 8th house. Now, this nakshatra lord of the Mars and the 12th, it is with the relation with the 12th house. Okay, and the 12th sign, the nakshatra lord and the dispositor of the Mars as well, which is Saturn. Okay, they both are in the 12th sign, and this 12th sign is Pisces in the 10th house. Now we have to see that it is also with the 12th lord, who is the 12th house sign. Okay, Venus. So Saturn and the Sun both are with Venus as well. Venus is 12th lord, and it is the sign of the 12th sign. 12th sign is Pisces, which talks about the past. I will say not past, but other world. Okay, the parallel universe and other world, black hole, and all that things. Okay, which are not known to us. So this Mars, uh, being the in the because the dispositor of the Mars is also important. It is carrying the energy of the Hora Lord. What he did, because of the time equation which he has given, he gave the concept of parallel universe. He gave the concept of wormhole by which we can travel to the parallel universe. He gave the concept of black hole, which is recently seen by the scientist. Okay, and all these things are the imagination and the concept of Albert Einstein, which we can see the highlight as the Hora Lord. Now, because this Mars in the 8th house, this Mars is the 11th lord, which is 8th from the 4th house. This Mars is in the third nakshatra, third lord nakshatra, Sun. He suffered for his residence. Okay, he was not able, and why? Because of his researches, because of his mind, because of his scientific theories. Okay, why he suffered? Mars in the 8th house, in the nakshatra of the third. All these parameters are adverse for the 4th house. Okay, so he suffered for the residence. Hitler was just running after him to caught him, but he was somehow escaped from Germany and went to UK and then US. Okay, so he was very much in trouble time for his residence, for his home. So this is the importance of Hora Lord. It will show you the major pattern of your life, the major events which will happen. It is related to the Hora Lord. Okay, and it is very important planet in your horoscope. And if it is not well placed, it is in a difficult conditions, then the dasha and sub period and the antardasha pratantardasha, it will create the damages and the benefits, good results according to its placement with respect to the planet which is operating. Okay, so there are many layers with respect to the dasha and the Hora Lord, but it was a topic of pending karma, or you can say the purpose of your life, the karma for which you are born, major karma is the Hora Lord and the pending karma. Okay, so this was the session, and I welcome every question and doubts if anyone has. And yes, hello. Whether anyone having any doubts and questions?
Any question, please? Thank you. Thank
Kindly
you.
see the chat box. Kindly see the chat box.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, let me ask it. Is D2 Ascendant Lord also called the Hora Lord?
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
asking
no.
this.
It is not, because D2
Oh,
can only have sun or moon as ascendant. Okay, or whatever
that
D2 you
Sora,
are up.
that Sora is little bit different about the
It is
partition
different.
of the 30-degree.
That
This
is,
is the another Sora.
it is a panchang parameter, not the
okay.
calculation of your chart. And you can just not only Hora Lord, you can pick the day Lord. Okay, it is also important, but not as important as the Hora Lord, because millions of people will born on the day. Okay, but Hora will only of 1 hour, so that is important.
Is there any question?
I
I want to ask if this If I'm born on a Saturday,
Yes,
so the first hour of the day will be Saturn Hora, right?
Saturn.
And then after that, what order do you follow?
After that, the second hora on the day. Okay, we are talking about day, not the night. So the second one will be the sixth from the Saturn. Okay, which will be, if you count from Saturn, the sixth will be Thursday. So Jupiter. And now when you have got the Jupiter, now count sixth from the Jupiter.
Oh, okay.
So it will be Mars.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. And when sun sets, it will be new thing. Okay. When sun sets, the fifth from the Saturday. Okay. And then sixth from the Saturday, the obtained first hora for the night. Then you will go on.
Yashraj, brilliant presentation. And
Thank you, sir.
very, very happy. And
Can I?
what Yashraj has given is the traditional way of finding the sixth from the current weekday. Okay, that is how you calculate. Okay, you get this in Jagannath Hora. Baduraj Ji has a view. He's a very senior astrologer. Can I invite Baduraj Ji, please?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Baduraj Ji, you were saying that softwares are not giving uh, accurate information. Kindly expand on this.
If please don't take me otherwise. I always try to follow the classic text. In Muhurt Chintamani, there is a calculation of hora is given. Okay. So first of all, we never say, whenever we are talking about hora, we never say it is of 1 hour. It is of dhai ghati. Hello.
Yes, sir.
It is of dhai ghati.
But Dhai Gati means 2.5, right?
It is, and fortunately or unfortunately, I am telling this thing. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is equal to 1 hour. 1 ghati means 24 minutes. Okay. 2 ghati means 48. And if you add half of 1 ghati in 48, it's become 60 minutes. So unfortunately, it is equal to 1 hour. I say unfortunately. Okay. But, and there is no concept of day hora and night hora. Whenever you will go for in Chaugadia, there is a day Chaugadia and night Chaugadia, but hora is start from the Suryodaya to next Suryodaya. Okay.
Sir,
Just a minute. Let me complete my view. And whenever I am talking about my view, I have a lot of evidence of it. Okay,
Definitely. That's the reason we have called you Baduraj Ji.
Okay.
Because
So
Shastra
what I
allows
let
different views to come in, and we want your view
okay.
also.
So there are some sutras also there. I will produce all that thing. Maybe tomorrow, by the end of all lecture, I will produce that thing. Okay. But if, and you have to start day hora, hello, and after next hora is the fifth hora, as Yashraj already told us. Okay. It is the same. But if you are not knowing all these things, there is a certain sutra and certain calculation is given in the books. Suppose at this time, in according to Ahmedabad position, let me say something about it. Just now it is 31 ghati. It is time. If you ask me what is time according to Hindu Ghadial, Hindu watch, it is 31 ghati. Okay. So without knowing, without going to calculate fifth from fifth or using table of that, you can calculate by using 31st ghati, and calculation it is given in that book because I have forgotten that thing because just now I have no ideas, but tomorrow I will produce it. Okay. So you can easily calculate which hora is going on without table. even without table. So such type of system is given in our books. So hora means there is no, I am much sure about it. There is no day hora and night hora. Hora means hora. Hora is always 24 horas. Okay. So, and each hora containing the value of dhai gati, means 2.5 gati. It is the Indian parameter. And fortunately or unfortunately, I have told you it is equal to 1 hour. So we are always, whenever hora shabd comes in our mind, we are saying that hora means 1 hour. Okay, but it is not a 1 hour. It is a dhai ghati. If you want to say, if we are utilize the proper word for hora means dhai ghati. And dhai ghati is equal to 60 minutes. Hence, it is a 1 hour.
Any software, Baduraji, that gives the correct calculation of hora?
Sir, sorry, I have not find that software,
Sir,
but
I think
It
Drik
just-
Panchang is a software which gives.
Which Yashraj,
Panchang.
can you loud, please?
I am writing it.
Trik Panchanga. And it is very simple. What I want to say over here, it is very simple. Note down the sunrise time and add 1 according to that. And if you add 60 minutes according to that, it will remain the same. Okay. So, hora is never, hora, value of hora means dhai ghati. It is never less or never more. So 60 minutes means 60 minutes. It should not be 59. It should not be 61. Okay. It is my humble request. I am not telling anything about it. But if you want to more accurate, more accuracy about it, you have to use it.
Dave has said in the chat box that Jai Hind Panchang is most trusted in Gujarati. Unfortunately, I cannot read Gujarati. Vishal Sehgal has said there is an app called Hora Watch.
Janma Bhumi Panchang.
नहीं सर ब्रिक पंचांग भी इतना ही accurate.
Vishal, can you send the link of this app, Hora Watch?
Yes, sir, I'll do it.
Thank you, thank you.
So remaining thing regarding Hora, as per Yashraj, he has very nicely produced all these things, and I have listened him previously also. Okay, in a one lecture. So, but let me, because I always try to follow our Shastra and what is given in it, I try to expose that. So it is not my own thoughts. It is given in the books. Okay. So thank you very much.
Vinod Kumar has said that Hora Watch is not accurate.
Not accurate, sir.
Not accurate. Which app, Vinod, do you find accurate?
Yeah, Dirk Panchang sometimes it's accurate.
So very simple. One thing is there. Hora has a value of dhai ghati. Dhai ghati is equal to 1 hour. So it should not be of 59 minutes. It should not be of 61. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhattaraji, for your view and what I would.
Sir, can I say something?
Yes,
Yes.
Sir, can I say something?
yes,
Sunil bhai, can I say something?
yes, yes. Please go ahead.
According to Dr. B.V. Raman's book Muhurta, that sunrise to sunset is taken and divided by 12. Then sunset to sunrise is again taken and divided by 12. So whatever figure comes, that is the hora. Now I have devised a very simple formula. You can write down SJM SVMNM. S starts from Saturn, J for Jupiter, M for Mars, S for Sun, V for Venus, M for Mercury, M for Moon. So this is a sequence which is followed all through the day or the night. Right? Like today, it is Saturn. The day started with Saturn Hora, and then it went to Jupiter, then Mars, then Sun, then Venus, then Mercury, then Mars, then Moon, and then back again to Saturn. That means the 8th hora of the day is always the one starting in the morning. This is how Dr. B.V. Raman takes. Please take your own take. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you.